I think the question is around what are the different streams in AI, right?
Yeah, multiple streams.
Yeah. So see, yeah. So I mean, so artificial intelligence is a large, vast space, I would say, and there are multiple things which are happening there. So there are few things which deal with large amount of data, for example. So which is where machine learning comes into picture. So machine learning is all about, machine learning does not necessarily mean machine is learning actually. Okay, so many times it's confused that machine is learning something. In a way, it is learning, uh, 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 but it is that learning is driven by the data scientists and the AI experts and things like that. So machine learning is all about looking at huge amount of data and drawing conclusions. So for example, so for example, I will look at uh, what are the, for example, uh, the the prices of flats in Pune, right? In different areas, different localities, size, and so on and so forth. And once I provide that data, the machine learning algorithm can figure out the price of a new flat, right? It can do prediction pretty accurately. Then it has some other, applications also. For example, in the healthcare space, right? So the Google has, for example, Google has developed an algorithm to look at the X-rays and figure out basically whether certain diseases are there. Now they are able to do that better than a radiologist, right? So a radiologist is typically 80% accurate, and this machine learning algorithm is like more than 90% accurate. Um, so machine learning is interesting area. Within machine learning, there are different pieces. One is like there are certain standard algorithms. There are various ways of doing certain things, right? You can apply those algorithms in different situations. That is one way of looking at it. Other is like, are you developing a new algorithm itself within the machine learning space? So that is one space. Apart from that, um, there are things like deep learning. Deep learning is around images, right? So which is identification of images. So see, if you look at iPhone, basically there are some deep learning algorithms are there. So when you take the photos, it can figure out, you can search by names, right? Because it knows who is who. Somehow it figures out, basically ask some questions, but somehow it figures out that this is your wife, this is your daughter, this is your father, and so on and so forth. They can figure out the family members and so on and so forth, right? Then there is computer vision, things like computer vision, which is more around, there is, which is more around looking at videos. Again, videos, images, more around images. Video will be computer vision. So there are different implications. There's similar philosophy. It's all about dealing with huge amount of data in certain way, right? When you look at a picture looks like a picture, but it has huge number of pixels, right? So when we say 5 MB, the size is 5 MB, it might have 5 megabytes of pixels, right? Which is like 50 lakh pixels. And when it comes to videos, it becomes much more complicated and things like that. So all about dealing with data. Similarly, in the IoT space, again, you are dealing with a lot of this data, and you are doing a lot of analysis. You are putting data in places like data marts and data lakes and so on and so forth, and analyzing that data to do multiple things. So again, this is not really AI, but AI and data are very, very closely related in certain ways. Um, but
Okay, so
yeah,
layman language I can say कि TikTok में हम लोग just डाल देते हैं अपना data and automatically video is there. And another thing, we prepare video with some editing and that our efforts that I.
right. Yeah, I see. I think most of the people are trying to use some of the AI algorithms in certain way. I don't know how TikTok works, and I'm not a TikTok user, so I don't really know. But I'm sure TikTok is also using some of the aspects of AI. Definitely.
Uh, anyone ask you want to ask questions, please open your video and audio and you can ask. It is interactive, don't worry. Mayuri wants to ask, in IT industry, which language is frequently used?
English. Okay, so so there are multiple, right? So I showed on one of the slides there are certain traditional languages which are used more than others. So the most common, there are two economies as we call. One is like Microsoft economies and open source. Within Microsoft, you use .NET, and then open source typically you use Java. But it doesn't stop there. There are these are the key programming languages, so to say, which are being used today. But there are a lot of other things. So for example. There is Android. I talked about Angular. Similarly, so Angular was started by Google. Similarly, Facebook started React, which is becoming popular today. So there is always this front end and back end piece, right? So when it comes to back end, we have things like Node. Then we have Python. Python is typically in machine learning and all. Python is used because it lends itself very well for doing some of the calculations which are required to be done in machine learning programming. R, there is another programming language called R, which is used again in the mainly in the machine learning space. There is MATLAB. So there are whole host of programming languages which are there, right? So when it comes to mobile programming, you use iOS has its own language, C kind of language. Basically, iOS programming is there. Then Android is again like Java, but it has some variations and so on and so forth. So there are myriad of programming languages which are there. But if you want to learn something, let's say you're trying to learn something, I will suggest three things: or either .NET or Java or Python. One of these three, if you're trying to learn something new.
Okay. One more question is, any suggestion regarding certification which will help to freshers to start the career?
Yeah, so you can do certification on one of these things basically, right? So you can do a certification on .NET or Java or Python or something like that. And then you can do some additional certifications, like for example, there are certifications which are available on machine learning or cybersecurity, or there could be other machine learnings on IoT. Certifications on IoT or AI, computer vision and things like that. So you can do certification on any of these. So if you go to some of these, online, so one thing I would like to tell you is like there are a lot of online resources which are available, right? There is like Udemy and then Coursera, and not Khan, but so some similar things. EDX is there. So there are very large number of online resources which are available, which not only provide good quality of learning, but also they provide certifications. So you can go to the Udemy's and Coursera's of the world.
Okay, so a lot of certifications are available, yes, but how to select, that is just I want to understand, while building the resume. So for IT industry recruitment basically, so how the students can get the understanding regarding resume building, strong resume building with certification, hard skills and soft skills, and where
Okay, so
to apply?
let me tell you one thing. A certification will get you an interview, but will never get you a job. So certification helps you build a resume, good resume. Definitely, apart from academics, if you have certification, yes, it looks good on your resume, but you will never, I mean, except for few cases, in most of the cases, I should not say never, but most of the cases, you will not get a job based on certification. For career progression, many times certification is important, but to start the career, I don't think certification is that important. Yes, it will help you to learn new things, right? But I don't think you will get a job based on certification. Career progression, yes, definitely, it is very, very important.
Okay, so in IT industry, how internship can you be useful, and how the students should go while studies?
I think everyone should go for internship, whether the college mandates or not. Definitely, they should go for internship. So there are a lot of colleges which actually mandate one semester of internship, which is very, very good, because this really gets people ready for what is coming after 6 months, right? So typically in the 8th semester of 4th year, people go for internship, and that really gets them ready for a job, because they get that real time experience of working in these companies. Now, when you're doing internship, I think it is very, very important that you choose an internship where you're going to get enough attention, right? So many times what happens that some companies give internship which is for namesake. So you will go there, there will not be anyone who will even look at you. You will not get enough attention and things like that. So make sure you talk to your seniors, figure out where they have gone for internship and whether they were happy with the internship, right? Many times you come back with a certificate of internship, but that certificate, as I said, certificate will get you an interview, but will never get you a job. And many times when you do well in internship, you are offered job in that company itself. So for example, last year, we had, like last year in the sense like the year which is ending in June. So in Chennai, we did internship for 15 people, and to 13 of them we have offered jobs, and they're joining. Apart from that, another thing that we do as a company is we conduct hackathons. Now hackathons is a two-way thing. Hackathon is a place where we try to identify good talent. So so while in hackathons, so hackathons is a good place for you to learn, because what happens that you are thrown challenges and you're supposed to solve those challenges in a very, very short time. Now, if you have not participated in hackathons, or if you're not participating in hackathons, then you're missing something. For one, there is good prize money. So for example, when we we conduct hackathons, we give out some 50,000-60,000 rupees as prize money. So you not only get that prize money, but you're also offered internship. So for example, just last month we had conducted one hackathon, which was a virtual hackathon, because we cannot do a physical hackathon. So it was a web hackathon where people from all the cities participated, from Chennai and Pune especially, because that is where we have our offices. And the people who got first, second, and third prize, they are being offered internship. So they will start internship now in June, July.